The reason I'm making this video is because if you are someone out there who wants to make a web series, I say go for it, but don't do what I did. I have 10 things that I wish I had probably done a little bit differently. Disclaimer, this is not a video to bash on anybody who helped me with this project. If you worked in front of the camera or behind the scenes and helped me in any way, I appreciate you and I thank you so much. This is not a takedown video where I'm gonna crap all over the people who worked for free because I asked them to, because they liked me and they wanted something fun to do over the summer, because what else are you gonna do in a small town? This is just a video of me saying things that I would have changed so that the web series could have had a better chance at being successful. None of us knew what we were doing. We're all just coming together and trying to make a thing because we wanted to have a good time. Chronicles of the Dead is about this guy named Winston Porter who goes to a party and he cheats on his girlfriend Vanessa with this mysterious woman who he's never met before, and she infects him with this zombie virus and he starts to turn into a zombie himself. Eventually, he gets adopted into this undead family who's trying to stop this zombie scientist, Walter, from building an army of the undead to unleash upon the city. It's very convoluted and crazy, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. That being said, let's get into the points. Number one, I had too many characters. If I was going to do a web series today, I would probably only have 1 or 2 characters, or maybe like one character and the other character's an inanimate object or something. I would really pare it down. If you have too many actors, you run into things like people dropping out on you at the last minute, or just inconsistencies because maybe someone has to quit halfway through and then you have to get somebody else, but you can't go back and reshoot all those scenes because maybe you couldn't get the same location again. Locations is another thing that I'll talk about. But just having way too many characters, there was way too many characters, and I didn't do myself any favors with season 2 because you know what I did? I added more characters. It was crazy. It was way too many people. Number 2, we had too many locations. Every character had their own house, and then scenes had to take place in places that didn't look the same, and it just got really exhausting asking all of our friends and their parents like, hey, can we use your house to film a thing? And they were probably so annoyed and like so irritated, but like honestly, if you let us use your house to film, thank you so much. And just everybody who was involved, like, I appreciate it, but I would never do it this way ever again. So number 3, I was wearing too many hats. I was a writer, I was a director, I was a producer, I was a location scout, the PA, and I was casting, and oh my god, I was doing way too many things. And if I had money to pay people, then I could have had people do those things for me. I mean, there was one point where I was even doing sound and I didn't know anything about sound. And I still don't know a whole lot about sound, but I know a lot more about sound now than I did back then. Number 4, not enough rewrites. Not only was there was too many characters, but we didn't have enough rewrites. The dialogue is clunky in areas. The plot is just muddled and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I feel like when people watch it, they're just really confused because it comes to a point where you don't even really know what's going on anymore, and it just doesn't make sense. And a lot of that is because we had too many characters, and we had too many characters who couldn't finish the project or couldn't be involved anymore, or maybe didn't want to be involved. So then we had to switch people out, and it just got really confusing and messy, and it was just a lot. So definitely needed some rewrites, definitely needed to make a bunch of cuts. There's too many episodes, there's too many characters, there was just too much going on. Like, I went into this thing and I was like, let's just do it really big. And I didn't have anybody really to stop me. I just had people being like, yeah, do it. And so I did it, and it turned out crazy. Number 5, I didn't step up enough. This whole thing was my idea, but there was times when I would just kind of take a back seat and just let the chips fall where they may. I didn't speak up enough. I didn't step in and take over enough, because this was my project. This was my vision and my baby. And I just kind of let go of my power because, I don't know, I'm a woman and we're taught to do that. But in these situations, I can't afford to be like that anymore. I have to learn how to step up, find my voice, take charge, and say, no, we're doing it like this, or no, we're doing it like that. And I just didn't do that enough. And if I could go back, that is one thing that I wish I could do. As a woman, we are told to be quiet and be small and don't make people uncomfortable and don't be bossy and don't be this and don't be that and don't be rude. But had I been a man and I'd gone in there and bossed people around and said, this is how we're doing it, and that's how we're gonna, and this is how that's gonna go, no one would have batted an eyelash. They would have just been like, oh, he knows what he wants. But because I'm a woman, I just felt like this insecurity, even though this whole thing was my idea and I'm the one who said I wanted to do it. I just didn't step up enough, and I really regret that. Thinking back on it, I just wish I had stepped up more and taken charge more, because this was my project. This was my baby. And even though I didn't step up enough, it's still my fault because I didn't step up. But I'm not gonna make that mistake again. Number 6, not enough research. When you're filming with a large cast in a lot of locations, you have to do things like get insurance. And even though I kind of knew that, I just figured, it'll be fine. And lucky for me, no one ever got hurt. But what if someone had gotten seriously injured and then I had gotten sued? That would not have been a good look. There was one day when we were filming with toy guns, and someone passed by and thought that we were actually using real guns, and the cops showed up with their guns out, like, hey, put down your weapons. And we had to explain to the officer what was going on, and he like yelled at us and told us that we were basically idiots, because if you're gonna be filming with guns, you have to let the police department know. And I didn't know that. I wasn't even thinking about that. But that was a really scary situation, and we could have gotten in a lot of trouble. Like, what if someone would have gotten shot, and that would have been my fault? That was a really sobering moment for me. That was the moment that made me realize, holy crap, I've taken on way more than I should have. I didn't realize I could get into that much trouble. I won't be doing that again. If you're gonna be filming with guns on a large set with a bunch of people, get insurance, notify the local police and let them know, hey, we're filming with toy guns, so if you see us with toy guns, don't worry. And I didn't know that you had to do that. And it seems like maybe it should have been a no-brainer, but I had no brain. Number 7, inadequate equipment. We didn't have the proper tools for the size of the vision that we were trying to achieve. We were shooting everything on this Canon T1i, and we had the microphone was like a really cheap microphone. The editing software was crashing every second. It was just a lot to ask for the materials that we were using. Had we just been filming in one location with like one actor who maybe didn't have any lines and it was just visual storytelling instead of relying on audio and dialogue and all that, it probably would have been better. But I learned really quick that you just have to pare down your production to the equipment and resources that you have available to you. For some reason, I just thought I was on this big Hollywood set and it was just gonna turn out wonderful. But just because you know how to turn on a camera and aim it at something doesn't mean what you're gonna get is gonna be good. Lesson learned. Number 8. We were all inexperienced. None of us knew what we were doing. None of us had ever done this before, or at least not anything of this scale. We should have just played to our strengths instead of trying to go the distance and do the most. We were doing a lot, but I guess I can't say that I'm inexperienced anymore now, can I? Because now I know a lot. I have a wealth of knowledge that I can take with me. Number 9, we didn't have any money. Our budget was 0. And when you have actors and crew who are working for you for free and you bring food and water, but it's not enough food and water, what do you think's gonna happen? People are gonna be hungry and thirsty and frustrated. And I was trying to buy pizza and buy water bottles and just do things to alleviate the frustrations of everybody. I didn't have any money. No one got paid. People were doing this because either they wanted to and they were bored, or they just really liked me and wanted to help. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who worked on Chronicles of the Dead for free in the hot heat of the summertime. Number 10, just not knowing enough about the craft of filmmaking or directing, not knowing how to talk to actors, little things like that that I learned later on that you're not supposed to do. I didn't know any of that stuff. But now that we've talked about all the things I've learned and all the things that I regret, let's talk about what I don't regret. I don't regret making this series. I used to regret it. I used to look at it and just cringe. Like my novel, I would look at it and I would feel bad and just think, oh man, what a waste. But you know what? It wasn't a waste, because I learned so many things making that web series that I would not have learned had I not done it. I didn't go to film school, so making this web series was my film school. I saw just how hard it is to make something, to write something on the page, and then to listen to actors saying the words that you wrote. It's incredible. Trying to figure out angles and shooting schedules and making call sheets. Those are things that I learned by doing, that I didn't have to go to school and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for. I learned it all for free. I don't regret the fun that I had, because even though it was difficult, it was a lot of fun. I don't regret the friends that I made. I don't regret all the people that I got to meet, and all the people who got to work on this project with me. I don't regret any of that. I also don't regret taking a risk. I am a risk taker. I mean, I take smart risks that I think about and mull over for a really long time. And I'm the kind of person that if I say I'm gonna do something, I go and do it. I said I was gonna make a web series, and I did. I said I was gonna write a book, and I did. I said I was gonna relaunch this channel and completely change everything about it, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. So once again, I just wanna say thank you to all the people who were involved. Thank you to everyone who watched it. Thank you to everyone who gave a little girl from Banning a chance to be a filmmaker for a couple of weeks. I do appreciate it, and I'm not 100% ashamed of it, which is why it's still up on YouTube. If you want to watch Chronicles of the Dead, there's links down below, but I must warn you, it is rough. I definitely do want to make a reaction video. It's hard to sit down and just watch it and enjoy it. I'm just thinking back on set, reliving everything that happened instead of just actually watching it. I'll leave you with a couple of scenes that still make me smile and that I still enjoy because I think that they're great.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! That guy? Hey, it was great talking to you, but I gotta go.
No, wait, don't leave. You just got here. Come tell me how you've been.
Take it easy, baby. I got all night.
I don't have all night, and quite frankly, neither do you.
Kiss me.
What have I done? What have I done?
Well, looks like the captain of the cheerleading squad got herself gobbled up by the undead. Congratulations, Dina. You made the cut. Are you okay?
You should let me take you home.
Friend, look out!
I'm not gonna say I told you so.
Thank you guys for saving my life. If you hadn't come...
If you join us, you'll never have to be defenseless again.
And the next time I make a web series, I'll be more prepared. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. I hope you subscribe and share it. And I will see you in the next one.